right, guys, we have an interesting pot here with Alan Keating, who has built up an image for himself being a crazy, loose, wild maniac.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Keating going for it.
155.
All in from Keating.
All you can eat.
Snap.
Call. All in and a call.
A $2 million pot. Keating bluffs it off.
And you're going to actually see in this video how building that type of image can be a really good thing, and you actually end up getting paid in some of your big hands because you have a wild image. So let's see how this plan plays out. This is going to be Alan Keating versus Peter, who, for context, Peter is actually up $5 million already in this week, something like that. Like, I think it's $5 or $6 million that he's up in the last like 4 days.
Won $1.5 million on day one of the $1 million game. Won almost $1 million, almost exactly $1 million on day two. Day three wasn't here, and then today he's up $500,000. Got dealt ace king suited, his very first hand, and has just continued to run unbelievably hot.
And Alan Keating is a wild maniac. He plays 70% VPIP. The guy is a cannon. He can bluff off in huge spots. He can have value. He's just very unpredictable. So keep that in mind as we watch through this hand.
Maybe heater. 35,000.
I like this squeeze. King Jack suited.
35,000.
And Peter flicks in the call. Ace-5 offsuit. Heads up. 80K in the middle. These two sitting on effective stacks of $2 million.
So Keating has the King Jack suited of clubs, and Peter has Ace-5 offsuit. The flop comes Ace-9-4.
And Peter does what he does best. Flops top pair.
40,000.
Half pot bet. This is not exactly how Keating is scripting this.
So Keating c-bets 40,000, and Peter quickly makes the call. Very standard so far. Let's take a turn.
Let's see how he proceeds. Gets called on the flop. Picks up the gut shot. Does he activate on this turn? Here we go. Reaching for the Kobe's.
150.
Near pot-sized bet. Facing a 3-bet. Bet, big bet. And he calls. Pot, 462,000. Keating blasting into Peter.
So we see the 10 of hearts on the turn. So now Ace-9-4-10. Keating bets $150,000, which is about pot size. Now Peter has a decision here because Ace-5 offsuit is not beating any value. He can only beat bluffs. But remember, this is Alan Keating we're talking about, guys. And there are two flush draws out there. So Alan Keating can easily have hearts. He can easily have spades. He can easily have a hand like Queen Jack or King Jack, like the hand he actually has. So I think if you're Peter, you can't go anywhere just yet here. You have to be calling the turn here versus Alan Keating. Not even close.
And Keating rivers the nuts. Finally a pot where Peter does not have the best hand at showdown. Grabbing a huge stack. And this is the moment Keating's been waiting for.
575.
Overbet river.
So the river brings in the absolute nuts for Alan Keating. The queen of clubs. Alan Keating just backs up into it. And here's the thing. Again, this is the beautiful part about having a crazy image. You can make a big bet here, and everyone knows you still have a lot of bluffs in your range, which works to your advantage when you have a value hand. So he bets $575,000 on this river, which is well over the pot size in this spot. And Peter's left with a big decision here. Both the flush draws miss. He's probably thinking, okay, I beat miss flush draws. I beat the miss hearts. I beat the miss spades. I could even beat a hand like Queen Jack that Alan Keating could potentially turn into a bluff on this river, you know, blocking a river 2 pair and things like that. So that's not far out of the equation either. So you get, or Alan Keating have all the 8-7 combos, 8-7 suited that he 3-bets pre-flop. There's a lot of bluffs in Alan Keating's range here. He knows that. So he's going big with his value.
Oof. It looks like he wants to put these chips in. I think he's trying to get a read off Keating. This pot will be around 1.6 million if Peter calls. He calls. Keating, the nuts, 1.6 million. Frustratingly taps the table. Says, I called you with a 5, buddy.
And Peter ends up calling only because of Alan Keating's image here, I believe. I think Peter would have made this fold versus anybody else at the table. This ends up being a $1.6 million pot. Massive one, and Alan Keating takes it down. There you have it, guys. If you have a wild, crazy image, you can get paid with your big hand from time to time because you're playing so wild. Okay, so it works out to his advantage. He takes it down, and that's that. Thank you for joining me in this hand history review, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.
Oh no, they're gonna doom zoom Peter. That's a rare sight.